Welcome to Suffrage School. I am Durba Mitra, Assistant Professor of Studies of Women, Gender, and Sexuality, and the Carol K. Pforzheimer Assistant Professor at the Radcliffe Institute at Harvard University. I am a scholar of feminisms and sexuality in the Global South and the author of Indian Sex Life, Sexuality, and the Colonial Origins of Modern Social Thought, out this year from Princeton University Press. Today I want to share with you my experiences exploring the digital collections of the Arthur and Elizabeth Schlesinger Library on the history of American women, particularly the Schlesinger's amazing collections of digitized posters that visualize the history of women's movements and transnational women's organizing. If you navigate to the poster collection at the Schlesinger Library website, you will find posters from the UN Year and Decade of Women. These posters were used to advertise and memorialize the important international conferences on women that occurred as part of the United Nations Women's Year in 1975 that took place in Mexico City, in Copenhagen in 1980, and in Nairobi in 1985. The Schlesinger's collection features a digital poster for the 1975 UN Women's Year that has an image that has now become iconic, a dove, illustrated with an equal sign and the symbol for women embedded in the graphic of the dove. The poster was created by the New York City-based graphic designer Valerie Pettis, age 27 at the time, who donated the poster to the conference efforts. In the poster, we see the icon of a dove representing peace. The two embedded symbols also represent the promise of women's rights, an equal sign representing women's equality and the symbol of the female sex, of women. The pictogram of the female sex, originally invented as a sign by Carl Linnaeus from his 18th century work on the sex of plants, was, by the 1960s, a key image used in US women's movements. The poster places the dove in the stars, with a galaxy centered inside the dove, a claim to the truly universal cause of women. The dove symbol, characterized by this equal sign and the symbol for women, featured on all posters for the UN Decade on Women and continues to be the symbol of UN Women today. The 1975 conference happened only a few years after decolonization in many parts of Asia and Africa, when people of the colonial world began to access democratic voting rights with independence, and just a decade after the US became a full democracy, when African Americans legally achieved full franchise with the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These posters and these conferences are an integral part of the complex history of US imperialism and racism, the rise of US power in the United Nations, and the important role of images and iconography played in the international women's movements in the second half of the 20th century. I hope you will explore these digital posters and so many more that are available on the Schlesinger Library's digital collections. Thank you.